So, Melissa, so you talked about the different types of communication. Do you have any particular example of a communication piece that you do on the regular?
Sure. So it's not so much regular, but it's a large component of my job is I do have to write corrective actions.
Thankfully, not on the regular.
So thankfully not on the regular.
Yeah.
Because they're not my favorite piece to write. So a corrective action, or a memo, as many call it, I have to communicate in a way that refers to policies a lot of the time.
Okay.
Because I need to refer to it and to inform the staff with using plain English how they violated the policy, or they were out of compliance with the policy, and how this needs to be corrected. So some of the language that I'll use when I first became an assistant director was a little bit too wordy, and it was very jumbled together, and as I reread it, I was like, this is not going to come across in a way that's going to be, that's going to teach the staff what exactly they need to correct. So that is a part of my job that I've really improved upon with my writing, because you need to be clear cut, and at the end of the day, you want the employee to improve what they're doing for the sake of the job and for the individuals that we serve here.
Right. And you touched on plain English, which I know we learned about in the master's program. So do you find that something that, because I've seen your writing, you are a really good writer. I always thought that.
Thank you.
And so do you feel like you've had to actually kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down, but like use like everyday words and use the whole like key sentences shorter? So is that something that you tried to, that you've done since, I guess, learning more about that technique? It has been. Oh, awesome. Okay.
Definitely.
So,
when I first started composing emails, I was the type that thought that I needed to have a very long email, and that meant that I had a lot to say, and that someone should listen to me, therefore, because I have that.
Right.
And I learned very quickly that everyone in the agency is very busy, and not everyone has the time to go through an email that is this lengthy.
Right.
When in reality, I could have gotten to the point a lot quicker, and people, I've learned, appreciate it over time.
Right.
When you get to the point, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to look through a whole email's worth of something that could have been put together in a few sentences.
Right.
So something I learned very quickly on the job.
Awesome. That's something that I kind of learned too, actually, through just the class. I'm like, wow, there's a time and a place to just use that straightforward language, like plain English. So, and it definitely just encourages that effective communication. And unfortunately, when you have to write those corrective actions, it just gets the point across.
It does. And I've done that with my speech as well. I find that speaking, a lot of times, I tend to be verbose, I tend to talk a lot, and sometimes I just need to be direct and say to the staff or say to my supervisor what the problem is.
Right.
Because a lot of times I'll preface it with a long story, and it's like, we only have an 8-hour workday or 7-hour workday for some of us. It doesn't need to be that lengthy. So
Gotcha. Awesome.